I looked around this subterranean space in wonder. Honestly, who keeps a secret room underneath a mausoleum? The stairs inside the crypt seem a bit much. Like, am I related to a supervillain? There were so many interesting things to behold down here, I could have looked around for hours and still not seen all there is to see. A strange display case catches my eye, and I brushed the dust off the dingy bronze plaque affixed to the glass. 1847 is all it says. I make a circle in the dust of the glass with my hand to peer inside. First thing I'm doing when I get back to the house is calling a cleaning agency. This house is an allergy farm, and it's time for the crops to be harvested. Inside the case is a faded purple velvet cushion and what looks like a broken doll stand. I can see some threads at the bottom, but nothing else. Whatever had been inside the case was long gone. Maybe it had been sold for some fast money. Shrugging, I continue my exploration. Shelves lined with dusty, crumbling boxes and bottles, both empty and filled with mixtures I'm sure have long since soured by now. The glittering remains of a smashed bottle sparkle in the firelight, catching my eye. I crouch down and see a dusty circle on the shelf where it must have rested. A rat probably knocked it off the shelf. At the thought of rats, I shudder a bit, feeling a bit of a chill around my shoulders. I pick up an especially large piece of glass with the label still attached. Beginning. I tilt my head as I consider, that's not a word. Or maybe it was in the way back days, and it meant something banal like how whitening powder was bleach. For a cursory moment, I envision rats the size of Great Danes, and I shake my head to get that terror out of it. This place has already had its fill of thrills and horrors. I don't need to imagine more. I stand up, feeling that chill about my person again, and sweep the glass under the shelf with my foot. With the luck I've been having here, I'll probably trip and land on the glass, so might as well take a preventative measure or two. I feel the hairs on my neck raise. There's that blasted chill again. It's not just the general creep factor of this place, there's a breeze coming through here. I look up at the stairway and note that the breeze isn't coming from that direction. It's coming from somewhere more to my left? The shelf? I look again, carefully this time, and notice a thin crack in the wall just to one side of the shelf. Upon further inspection, I realize it's not actually a crack, but the outline of a door. One corner of the shelf is against the frame, preventing it from opening, but it is cracked ever so slightly. Does this door lead back to the house? That would be a very nice little shortcut, but why is it blocked off? I look on the other side of the shelf and see the dusty tracks left where someone had pushed the shelf over the doorway. I also briefly acknowledge that there's no footprints in the dust, where surely someone had to have been standing to push the shelf in the first place. I'm so thrilled by my discovery of another secret door that I suppress that thought to the back of my mind for later review. Not my brightest moment, I know. Rolling up my sleeves, because they make me feel stronger than I am, I guess. I grab the metal shelf frame and give it a few pulls, and a few swears for posterity, and it grates, seemingly unwillingly, letting out a shriek as I move it back to the original position. The door gives a satisfying click, going from just barely cracked to just slightly ajar, and the wind whispers through with a satisfied sigh. And then it stops. The breeze just disappears, as if it had been made by what lay beyond, and whatever it was is waiting on bated breath for me to open the door all the way. I'd like to say this is the part of the story where my blackness finally kicks in and I nope on out of there, but in the words of Morgan Freeman, and the voice too, it was not. I reach my hand out to open the door and pause when a strange clattering sound meets my ears. It was hard to describe, something like the sound of a pile of sticks being dropped all at once. Wood on wood. It quieted down as my hand hovered there, and when I exhaled, I heard it again, but only briefly. I placed my hand on the stone door and gave it a small tug. Clatter, rattle, clink, clunk. I let go of the door and the sound stopped. Testing my theory, I touched the door again. Clatter, rattle, clink, clunk. Removing my hand, I take a step back, and then another. Clatter, rattle, clink, clunk. I take several more steps back and then freeze. The sound is only happening when I move. I can see the light from the stairs, the dust swirling in peaceful motes in front of my eyes, but the door remains still, no light or visible movement in the small bit of dark space I can see where it stands slightly ajar. As the fear mounts in my chest, I take a slight inhale, and then I let out the loudest sneeze of my life. Clatter, rattle, clank, clunk. I've heard enough. Propelled by instinct, I spin on my heel and fly up the stairs, clawing at the steps above me, and make a mad dash back towards the light and the safety of the house. As I run, I catch for the briefest moment an image of something emerging from the door. Is that a marionette? As I run away, my mind tries to process the horrific image burned into my mind. Those were definitely wooden limbs, stained dark with what I hope is time. Clatter, rattle, clank, clunk. The sound is coming faster. Only a few more steps. I launch myself out of the tomb, and without a moment's hesitation, I run to the other side and throw my body at the lid in a desperate attempt to seal it shut. Clatter, rattle, clank, clunk. Closer than before. It knows what I'm trying to do. Disregarding all sense of pain, I body slam the heavy stone, and it slides home, trapping the sinister puppet inside. With a sigh, I slide down the side of the stone, utterly exhausted but relieved when I hear one final clatter. Panicked, I jump up and check, but there's nothing there. Then, all my senses straining to hear, there's another, gentler sound. Tip-tap, tip-tap. Looking down and around, I don't see anything, but I keep hearing it. Tip-tap, tip-tap. It gets a little bit closer. Tip-tap, tip-tap, tip-tap. And I look and I see it. Finally, the wooden hand of the malicious marionette working its way towards me. With a well-timed kick, I send that thing flying into a pumpkin. And I make my way out of the mausoleum, firmly shutting the door behind me. And then I run. I was gonna say walk, but I ran. I ran, crying and screaming all the way back to the house. Or at least to what I hope is the relative safety of the house. Who put that puppet down there? And why was it bigger than me? Okay, that's it for me, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me for the 20th day of October Daily. Can you believe that we're 20 days in already? Don't forget to jump over to Lipstick Legion Craft tomorrow for day 21 and use the hashtag OCTDIY2022 so that you can see what everyone's making. And I will definitely finish this challenge. Some of you guys have asked for the full story. I just will not be finishing it all in October. So stay tuned. I will continue to finish it here on my channel, and I'll put all the stories into a playlist so that you can listen to the entire story when it's finally completed. But I'm not giving you a timeline because I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be it from you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I had lots of fun doing this challenge with everybody and seeing what everyone's making. Until next time, stay spooky. Bye!